Oh, hello, yeah. Well, good grief. 'Tis the season of having the heating on and wanting to stay in beddedness. Yes, just to, well, completely ruin Shelley, if nothing else. Didn't he used to sing for the Buzzcocks? Possibly. Anyway, yes. Now, there may well be noises off today with the sound of various stock markets around the world tanking. It'll be always very amusing to see various political and economic commentators suggesting that the reason why they're tanking is because they were just simply over-regulated, even though, well, most of them where they get tank from haven't been regulated at all, because that means that we don't make so much money out of them. And by we, I mean not you, obviously. Anyway, yesterday, in the Daily Mail, or the Mail on Sunday, as I suppose it should technically be, there was one of those kind of leading pieces they had in the morning, which definitely caught my eye, because it was sort of addressing me and demanding that I do things. Yes, always told that as a teacher, that somehow I am indirectly responsible for all the ills of society. But it was this, mosque in uber-liberal London enclave, could use the word enclave there, bans all females over 12 from charity park run. So where are the howls of outrage from the wokerati, which is where I'm supposed to come in, I believe, and howl, even though it's not a full moon. Or maybe it is. I'm not particularly up to date with my moon cycles. Anyway, yeah, it was one of those kind of slathering at the mouths things, saying, isn't it dreadful that the Muslims, out of all the three great Abrahamistic religions, are so dreadfully sexist? And it enabled them to have a nice lead comment piece. Why won't the woke left stand up for what we, yeah, that's you lot, apparently, in Britain hold dear, which of course is not being sexist. I might come back to that as a concept with the Daily Mail, but it's worthwhile just diving into that very slightly, and then we can, well, just have a chat about it, I suppose. They have also claimed the same conservatives are hostile to women's rights, though it should be hard to find a traditional conservative under the age of about 150. Well, no, it's not hard, actually. Most of them are under 150. Anyway, who would object to women running alongside men in a charity race? And let the Equality Act, and the Equality Act is the very embodiment of the left-wing ideology those same leftists, that's me, seek to pursue. That's me pursuing. Multiculturalism and pretty mainstream version of feminism have collided. Who will win? To make modern Britain work, everyone has to show a bit of respect for everyone else. An interesting concept, we'll come back to that. But isn't it time that the politically correct liberals did their part, in this case by showing respect for their own principles and making it clear that our new citizens could do well to adapt a little to the rather wonderful country where they, or their parents or grandparents, understandably choose to live? Yes. Which is brilliant. And yes, I'm the first person to stand up and say that, well, I don't think religions should be sexist. But the inherent problem with this, and which the Daily Mail and basically pretty much all right-wing commentators have, is that they live in a ahistorical world where there is simply the never-ending now. We are always here. We always have been here. We've always been a liberal, tolerant society, even in the days, when we used to burn witches, or hang them, or drown them, or simply steal all of their goods because, it was one of those kind of times when the Witchfinder General allowed you to. You see, we ignore all of that stuff and we arrive at the now. But the now, of course, was, well, kind of fought for by, probably people living in wokerati London enclaves, wasn't it? Because I don't believe that the suffragettes could ever have been described as, well, conservative women. Tricky. Still, never mind, that's the Daily Mail view of the world, and what they're indulging in here isn't a demand that women are treated equally by barbaric religions, but a demand that, well, people like me should be doing more to have a go at the Muslims like what they do. Except it's not really a game I want to play particularly, because, I would generically across the board say that certain churches have certain problems with women, which is where it gets to be problematic for the Daily Mail, because where are the howls of outrage, for example, that so many Christian, and by that I mean explicitly the Church of England churches, basically won't allow girls in. Quite problematic, isn't it? Because even 30 years after, they allowed that nice Dawn French to become the Vicar of Dibley, there they are still basically, a lot of them, deciding they really don't like girls at all. Acca St. Paul, because he wasn't keen, was he? So where are the howls of outrage over the last 30 years about that ongoing, religious discrimination by the C of E, from the Daily Mail, or indeed anyone else? And the answer is, well, we don't really care about that, because of course we can't turn that into a culture war issue in and around our pet one at the moment, which is of course, having a go at the Muslims. Yes. And in terms of, allowing people to do things at Park Run, or, those kind of fun runs, I don't notice the Daily Mail standing up for trans people in and around that particular issue. Or perhaps I've missed something recently about their incredibly liberal stance on such social issues. Except, of course, the Daily Mail doesn't do that, does it? No, it's more interested in scoring very petty points in that kind of ha ha, how come you're not having a go at illiberal people? Well, I do, across the board. It's just that, your average mosque in London doesn't have a great deal of effect on my everyday life, whereas the Daily Mail and the non-dom billionaire types that own such establishments really do. Where are the howls of outrage about the fact that such a divisive organ of the media and an explicitly pro-conservative and pro-reform, basically nasty, racist, often veering into supporting, the black shirts over time, is allowed to do this stuff? And the answer is, well, we don't live in that kind of liberal enclave anywhere. Anyway, do have a lovely day. Do keep an eye on those very, very interesting stock market movements. It might well be the big one coming once again. After all, we are slightly overdue for an enormous stock market tanking, aren't we? Still, never mind. Let's not talk about regulation, because that would be really, really daft, wouldn't it? I mean, you can't expect a modern economy to run with rules, can you? Can you? Well, apparently not. Have a lovely one. Stay warm.